November 1966, London. John Lennon can't speak. He can't take his eyes off the photo of a car in flames with Paul McCartney's body inside. His friend is no longer here, and that means the Beatles are no longer here either. But John wants to know the truth, and with George and Ringo, he will begin to re-examine the final hours of Paul's life. Set in the magical atmosphere of Abbey Road Studios during the writing sessions for Sgt. Pepper, Paul is Dead is the definitive version of the legend of Paul McCartney's death. I've just read from the back cover of Paul is Dead, When the Beatles Lost McCartney. Did I enjoy this book? Yes. But it wasn't the book that I was expecting. The book's press release materials led me to think that this book was going to be a work of alternative history, a what if. What if the Paul is Dead conspiracy, which the creators of this book have gone on record to state that they have a hard time swallowing, really happened? Only it isn't. Paul is Dead is a murder mystery, and it's a murder mystery that plays a huge game of misdirection with its audience. The book opens with a black and white flashback, I would presume. This segment shows a Paul McCartney lookalike getting prepped up by a makeup artist. He is told that the producers are here, and he drops his head into his hands and quietly says, "Oh my God." We then shift to full color. John Lennon, in the same pose, looks up and wipes away the tears. The news of Paul dying in a car crash is unbearable. The creators of this graphic novel have gone to great pains and a lot of historical research to recreate the clothing, the cars, the instruments, the recording studios, and the time period that was the writing sessions for Sgt. Pepper, and it shows on every page. I read this book twice, and in between, I found myself just poring over and staring at the beautiful artwork put into this work of graphic fiction. Because while Paul is Dead is fiction, it is not the fiction I was expecting. Okay, mild spoilers. You have been warned. Paul is Dead plays a fun game of misdirection with you. You think it's going to be an alternate history wherein Paul McCartney really did die in a car accident and was replaced with a lookalike. Instead, it's a book of speculative fiction that explores how the Paul is Dead conspiracy might have taken root. It's one of those fun, speculative conversations that Beatle fans might have from time to time, brought to cinematic life, that hypothesizes, for all we know, X might have decided to do Y, which caused Z to happen. Now, did I mind being misdirected? No, not at all. Like any good murder mystery, it was a fun misdirect, and I am always tickled when a storyteller defies my expectations and gives me something completely unexpected, which Paul is Dead does. But I can't help but feel, at the same time, a little bit disappointed. Because now I can't help but feel that there is a much more epic story that explores the conspiracy of Paul is Dead as a generation-spanning piece of alternative historical fiction, one where Paul really did die in a car accident and was replaced by a duplicate, and a secret was kept for decades. Now, I want to state that I give absolutely no credence to the Paul is Dead conspiracy. I give it zero validity. But that doesn't mean I don't think it's a fun and fertile place to grow some cool alternative historical fiction. Published by Image Comics, Paul is Dead is a 128-page graphic novel by writer Paolo Baron and artist Ernesto Carbonetti, both of whom have collaborated on the hit Punk is Undead, a horror rock saga, and are also currently working on a new graphic novel inspired by Jim Morrison and the Mystery of the 27 Club. Quick aside, I want to add that their graphic novel inspired by Jim Morrison is in no way related to the Morrison Hotel graphic novel being written by Leah Moore that I talked about in a previous video. Paul is Dead, When the Beatles Lost McCartney is a quick read, but it's one of those reads that after you've read it once, you're going to want to read it again now that you know how it's going to end. And I found it more entertaining on the second read-through. It's also a story that resonates and stays with you. The book is supplemented with a behind-the-scenes look at some of artist Ernesto Carbonetti's preliminary and pre-production art. It lists for around $16.99 in paperback and is available on Amazon and finer comic book store websites, as well as the Image Comics website. Please support the talents who created this book by purchasing it legally. This is TJR, and what do you think? Have you read this book? Are you going to read it? Please leave your thoughts in the comments, and as always, if you like what I'm doing, be sure to click like, click subscribe, and smash that bell notification icon so you can know when I release new videos. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.